Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Kratos defense and security solutions. It is time for another update, and on this chart we have managed to gain over 40% in the last week alone. We seem to have started clearly this fifth wave to the upside. We have been tracking within a couple of internal interpretations where we were looking on the larger time frame for resistance, possibly at the 61.8% retracement around the $145 level, to be a possible stop or at least a slowdown for this uptrend. But we were looking all the way up to the previous swing high from this area around the $186.85 level for an area that is very much within reach within this wave alone. And we'll be talking more about the internal structure, what we should really expect in a moment. But before that, I want to go quickly through the larger time frame for any of you who might be new. And here we have been tracking a possible bottom within this idea of an ABC structure, where right now we can consider a bottom to be in place. We can even start tracking a larger impulse within an uptrend, where here we have a 1-2 setup, and in the wave 2 correction we are tracking a running flat in this case, and having this overshoot within a wave 2 isn't necessarily very common, but could be suggestive of a very strong wave 3 to the upside, which right now is playing out quite nicely. We are already within serious extensions, and if this really is to be a wave 3, we can easily expect to surpass the 138.2% extension, which is the ideal target. We might get around that area within this wave 5 alone, and then this structure could easily allow much more continuation, because within this movement to the upside, I'm tracking even a series that could be considered here of 1-2 setups, and then a third wave would be emerging right now. A third wave would be forming. Now, ideally within this structure we are forming an impulse, but it's no guarantee. This could in the end be something like an ABC structure, in which case we wouldn't necessarily expect the same structure, the same movement to the upside, because within the wave C we might instead be within an ending diagonal, not within an impulse. In that case, we wouldn't expect as many waves to the upside, but right now the focus remains on this area, in which we did hold the area of support that allows an impulse to be built still. We were tracking this as a 5-wave structure, and within this wave 3, we would be towards the end of this movement, because we are in the internal fifth wave in both bullish interpretations, but we would expect at the moment still further continuation higher. But within the wave 3, we have the count complete, we have the structure complete, we headed into the area of support for the correction for a wave 4, and a bottom was possibly in place even in the previous video, and it was, because we were tracking this orange scenario for further continuation lower. We were tracking possible extensions. They weren't absolutely needed, because within this structure we were very much able to track a 5-wave move to the downside within the wave C already in place, but we were tracking for a signal that this structure is going to see a breakout already, or at least will see a completion of this wave down, that this wave is not going to extend lower, that we would expect at the very least a larger pattern to the upside. Now, the last week certainly took us to new highs already, but already we had a signal when we broke above the last level of resistance, the 61.8% retracement. Only briefly, only for a couple of days, but we headed back into an internal area of support and continued higher. And right now, I am tracking even a possible impulse to work out within this structure to the upside. And for context, for the other bullish interpretation, we were tracking this yellow scenario within which we are looking at a larger ending diagonal. This would be a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th. It is a valid interpretation. It has a very similar area of support, but it allowed extension within the correction in the wave 4 slightly lower. We could have retraced slightly lower down to the 61.8% retracement instead. But since both areas of support managed to succeed, we can track either interpretation, and right now I do prefer to focus on the white scenario, because it would give us an early sign of failure. The yellow interpretation could complete sooner than the white scenario, and within this push to the upside I am tracking a 5-wave move at the moment, because I'm focusing on the white interpretation. The white scenario expects a 5-wave move, whether that is within an impulse, whether that is within a larger ending diagonal. At the moment we can actually track both, but we are going to be focusing on the idea of an impulse, because again that will be the first to actually get invalidated, first scenario to actually break. And for that I'm tracking here a 1-2 setup, another 1-2 setup here, and the third wave I would be considering to still be forming within this area. And within this wave 3, I believe we might have actually formed a top within the internal wave 3 in of itself. Yeah, I would be tracking here something like, to be honest, even a series of 1-2 setups within this area, and then this would be a third wave that could have formed the top. Yeah, we don't absolutely need to extend higher. I am considering this to be a possible top for the wave 3 itself, and for that I will be using its area of support for a wave correction in the wave 4 as the signal that this structure is going to see a more severe breakdown. I could see this wave 3 still extend further within, yeah, probably more than one scenario we could find for this to work out, but I would still be looking for continuation higher here as long as we hold the 50% retracement at the $102.7 level. Already, the area of support for the correction in the wave 4 starts at the $112 level, and within this structure to the upside, if we are to break below the internal area of support for something like even a 1-2 setup here, I would probably consider this third wave to be complete. Now again, many interpretations allow extensions further within the wave 3 itself, but right now I would be considering here only here either an A-B setup or a 1-2 setup. Doesn't really matter which it is, because the area of support internally will end up being the same, but if we don't manage to hold that, it would be a signal that we should expect a larger retracement. We should expect to head into the larger correction. And within this internal area of support, I would be tracking the levels between the $118.9 all the way down to the $116 level. Again, a break below the $116 level would be a decent signal to me that a larger wave 3 top is in place, and that, yeah, a larger correction in the wave 4 would be emerging. But right now, we got into the area of support and we already got a reaction. We got another reaction. We only formed a higher low. We might already have here an internal 1-2 setup, and it might continue within a wave 3 to the upside. It might continue within a wave C. Remember, this could work out as something like 1, 2, 3, 4th and a 5th. We could see still continued upside within this wave 3, and as long as we hold the green area of support, we can track it. But then if we fail to hold even the 50% retracement in the white scenario, that is the larger correction in the wave 4, it would actually be quite a strong warning signal that this structure is probably not going to manage to form an impulse in the end. Yeah, it might even form an internal ending diagonal within the wave C, but nothing necessarily as reliable as the impulse that we are tracking right now. But for now, yeah, we are still looking for upside. We are consolidating at a very, very high level, and remember the levels we are looking for within this larger wave 3 to the upside. Firstly, the 61.8% retracement here in red, the $145 level, and then secondly, I would be watching the larger swing high. Again, I told you this in the beginning of the video, but the largest swing high in this area around the $185 level. But yeah, for now, it proved worthwhile to track this area of support and continued upside, and it seems to still be in place, to still be going. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.